Hello and welcome back. We're going to do something fun today. Let's go and have a look. So, for the longest time, I've wanted to build a tool that's going to be helpful for me. And then I saw Aaron Francis building a personal operating system, and I thought, you know what? I need one of those. So that's what we're doing. Part of what I need to do on a day-to-day basis is fetch fetch content from around the internet that's kind of relevant to me so that I can kind of aggregate it, understand it, and understand like where the community is going and what might be going on. So that's what we're going to start with. And the plan is that I'm going to pass some RSS feeds. So if you've got an RSS feed, drop it in the chat and I'll pull that one in as well. And what I want to do is grab that content, pass it to local AI to summarize and categorize for me, so I don't have to fully, read a 2,000 word article, which might not be super useful at that time. I want to, read 200 words and go, okay, pass that for later, pass that for later. And if it's really useful, I want to be able to click on it and track that click. Know that, what's useful and going on in the industry. I'm clicking on these things, which is interesting to me. I can then look at that as a whole and say, okay, so let's do something around this. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to be using an RSS package to aggregate content. We're going to be using Ollama for local AI, and we're going to use dub.co for tracking links because they've been gracious enough to give me a free account, which is awesome of them. And I'm going to see what I can do. So we're using FluxUI as well. Like, if you haven't heard of FluxUI yet, it is a live wire UI. It is pretty darn awesome. I mean, yes, it is very kind of unstyled, but it's very functional. And hello, John. Jonas is drinking already. Fantastic. Okay, so let's have a look at what we got so far. I've got a login. I've got a register. I've got forgot password going on. I'm using Laravel Herd locally. And I've got other things going on, which is going to be super useful. Hello from Twitch. I'm live streaming now across LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitch. I used to live stream onto Twitter, but you've got to have a paid account for that. And I refuse to give someone like Elon Musk more money for him to be absolutely reckless and stupid with. So that is why I don't have X Pro or whatever they like to call it these days. So I've got some stuff going on here. Let's come over to the terminal quickly. Vite is up and running. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have my queue running in the background. And then I'm going to have somewhere to run my artisan commands as and when I need them. So let me just make sure I've got some space so I can keep up with chat. So here's my Laravel application. So far, it is relatively simple. I've got my user record for me to log in. Then we've got sources. So we want to be able to get a source, title, URL, logo, feed, description, summary, and stuff. So I'm going to be able to summarize sources using AI. Really cool. And then each source has many feed items. And we're going to use dub to create an ID and a link so that if I want to delete from dub, I can delete from dub. But then I've got something that when I click it, it's going to redirect me where I need it. So let's go in our database. What I'll do, I'm going to hide my camera so you can just focus in on the code. That's what I like to do. Focusing on the code. You're not here to see me. You're here to watch code. I am just a delivery mechanism. So let's come down to my Cedar. So I've got this user. That's me. I want to be able to log in straight away. That's great. But also I've got this. Bang. Laravel News. Laravel News, the main place to go for Laravel content, clearly. So if we come back to Arc quickly, what I'm going to do, open a tab to Laravel News quickly, because if I open up source a second, I've got title, URL, logo, feed, description. So title, URL, feed. I need their logo. So let's just copy that image address because I want to be able to kind of look at it. And, distinguish it while looking. So URL, that needs to kind of swap. I can never remember the short key to kind of move things up. That one, that one. I'm just pressing lots of keys now. So if something goes wrong, that is my fault. Oh, no. Okay. I really need to learn some of these shortcuts on PHP Storm. Okay, it's title, URL, logo, feed. Title, URL, logo, feed, description, and summary. So, like, for example, if you go to feed.laravelnews.com, on the web browser, you get this, and that is the description that they give you. So the description is going to be, hey, Mikey, how you doing, buddy? So let's go add description there quickly. So when I run my seeder, that is going to be created, but it is being observed by this source observer, which is going to dispatch two different jobs. Going to dispatch generate a summary for the source and then fetch RSS feed for source. Now, I have debated about batching these, but I am not 100% sure yet if I will do that. So generating a summary for source is really simple. We use Ollama and we just say Ollama summarize. This is just some code that I've created. This is that is not installed. So let me just get that installed. Before that, I need to come to Composer JSON. Dev. So let's just Composer update. Because I've got a package I need to install. And while that happens, I will have a sip of coffee. I'm not like Jonas. I don't have John Smith's or any alcohol with me. Actually, that's a lie. I've got some Croatian alcohol from when I visited Croatia, but I don't drink, so not the most useful. So let's just quickly bump all of the dependent. Nothing to update. Fantastic. So we're going to Composer acquire, just Steve King, Ollama PHP. Now this is, if I come back to Arc, just Steve King, Ollama PHP. So this is just a PHP SDK for interacting with the Ollama API. Super simple to use. You can start a chat, select a model, start sending messages. That simple. But I'm going to be using it on this. So let's go back to Ollama here. Let's just fix that whole file because that just annoyed me. Okay, so we are going to be returning a chat response or a generator. Generator if we are streaming, obviously. So this SDK chat, and it could throw a potential exception. So let's do that. And I hate that that always happens. That should just do this by default, right? Surely. And I hate multiple lines for comments when it's just a quick declaration. So Steve Pickiness coming out again. So we're not going to stream. We want the format to be JSON. The model will be Llama 3, which I do have locally. If I come to Warp, you'll see that if I Llama list, I've got Llama 3 latest. I updated it 43 hours ago. All good. Then the messages. I'm going to say, you are a research agent. Your main task is to browse the internet and get information in a clear and concise way. No additional conversation, just simply respond with the content as requested. User, summarize this URL in under 200 words. Don't need to pass any options. So that's how we're summarizing. This is just going to go over to that, and I just need to pass a URL. So over here, I summarize passing through the URL, and then I update the summary over here using a database transaction. Super, super simple, right? Nothing out of the ordinary going on. So I am going to start my queue worker, and we're going to migrate fresh and feed. That's going to do all that. This is now running, and we are failing with generating a summary. Creating short links. Short links are apparently creating, which is great, but for some reason, generating a summary is not working. So what we want to do is create a new data source, come over to, no, not that. That's not what I'm using. Data source, and we want a SQLite. So let's select our database. So we can come to Herd, Steve OS, database SQLite, open, apply, connect, and let's just go grab the failed jobs table, for example. So where are we failing? Failed dependency in resolving API token. Aha, okay, so let's go and get that fixed. So providers over here, what we want to do is add that register method. Hey, thanks for joining, Devcast. Right, okay, so we want to say this app, we're going to create a singleton. Abstract is going to be Olama. No, we need to do the SDK. The SDK for Olama. And then the concrete is going to be a new SDK where the API token is just an empty string because it actually doesn't need one. And the URL, we come back to Arc and go to Olama API docs. I can come down and grab that here. So the URL, I'm just going to hard code it for now because I'm just testing. Stop that and go migrate. Correct. Start that again. And let's just seed. And let's see if that's failing again. It's still failing for some reason. So now what's the problem? You have not set up the client correctly. I don't even know my own package. Right, so set up. That is all I needed to do. It was that simple. That simple. Do. Let's watch it. Running. It's generating. Now, obviously, this is running locally, so it's going to be a little bit slower. Let's just come over to sources. And let's go have a look at the summary for this. Summary is currently empty. Fantastic. So create short link for feed items. So it's starting to fetch some data and some information. Oh, you're not getting lag, are you? Oh, please don't lag. Please don't lag. Okay, so things are failing, but some things are running. We generate short link, generate summary. So I need to work on getting dub set up properly next. So if we close, actually, what we're going to do, let's come back and have a look at our failed jobs. I wish there was a way for me to like manage this a little bit nicer than this. Okay, so send on dub. I know what I'm doing wrong. Okay, so close all of Alf. And what we're going to do is in my services, what I've got is my short link over here. I've got dub here. Links create, links and get. So short link there. So in my jobs for create short link create that given me this right thing? Short link create. Yeah. Okay. So let's walk through this step by step. So to do that, I'm going to come to here and come to my queue connection and change this to sync. So migrate fresh and seed. That will then hopefully do everything in place. Why am I building my own operating system? Well, the reason for that is, wow, that is a good question. Easier. So I work with a lot of content. I'm always creating content, and I need a way to easily keep up to date with the endless stream of content that is out there from places like, yeah, something to do. No, I've got, to create content, I need to understand the community and the market. Without being able to do that, I can't really do my job. So what we're going to do, we're going to make a command, and we're just going to call this test command for now. So app, we're just going to call it app test. I'm not going to be too specific on this. And let's inject maybe dub directly. So let's dyn dump on dub. So a app test. This, we're getting there. So what we need to do is we need to come over to our service provider and say, okay, so when, let's create a singleton for the abstract of dub. And on the concrete, what we want to do is say, let's create a new dub. That needs some SDK configuration, which actually isn't a requirement. So SDK configuration there, but I believe, there we go. We're going to use the dub builder instead. So we're going to say dub builder, set security where the token is config, services dub token, which I believe I have set up. Let me just confirm. Dub API key. There we go. So set security is going to return a dub builder. So we want to then obviously build to get the actual SDK. So that's that. There we go. Right, let's just pint that one up. Hey, everyone. Why not build an app rather than diving into... Oh, it's not an actual OS. It's a web OS. It's a personal operating system for me to perform things. It's not an actual OS. That is probably some confusion there. Right, we should, at this point, have a few things set up. So let's have a look what happens now. Wait, it's not failing. So it's a start. Nothing is appearing in failed jobs, which is fantastic. So if I come back to Arc, for example, I should now be able to log in anyway. So let's log in. Yeah, so sorry about the confusion there. Log in. Log in. Why you no log in? Okay, let's look at that in a minute. So that's doing stuff. Not going to log any jobs there. We've got our source, and it has summarized. Laravel News is a leading online publication that provides news, tutorials, and resources on Laravel. a popular open source PHP web framework. This website is dedicated to helping developers. Okay, so not useful. But let's come to feed items. So this is where the important stuff's going to happen. Summary, type, article, title, blah, 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 author, Titan. Okay, I don't know what it's doing there. But we've got some dub.co links, which is fantastic. So if I take this, come back to Arc and just go visit that, that's going to take me straight to here. So if I come back to dub, for example, you'll see no clicks, no click, no clicks, one click. I've done one visit to there, which means that I can get analytics for that. You're making me want to code. Coding is so much fun. Let me just close some of these because they are no longer needed. Right, so there we go. Let's see if it'll let me log in now. See if it's decided to not be silly. There we go. Welcome to your dashboard. So this is Flux. So what I want to do is use Flux to display, sources on the homepage. Like, here's the sources, dive into them and just catch up quickly so that I can go for, let's see what's new with Laravel News. Let's see what's new with that. Let's see what's new with this. That's kind of typically how I would approach looking at content. So if you do have an RSS feed, please drop it in the chat and I will have a look at it and see if I can start pulling that into the more the better, or the more the merrier. So let's go to database Cedar. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to create another one. And this one is going to be called, what's another good RSS feed? I'm pretty sure Laravel have got a blog, but do they have an RSS feed? Ha ha ha. So I can grab this, come over to here, and we can just say Laravel. So we can say blog.laravel. Here is that. We come back to the feed a second. Title. It doesn't provide a description, which isn't the end of the world. So we're just going to set the description of the official Laravel blog. And logo-wise, let's just go back. And we will copy image address from up there. And we will just replace that. So if we did it again, we'd just start passing all of that, and that's all great. Let's just add a space there to differentiate it from my mind. So far, so good, right? We can log in and we've got sources and sources are being crawled and everything's fantastic. So how does that work? How is all of this magic happening? Let's come and walk through it. So we have got an observer, which will generate summary for the source. So we'll summarize, and then we will store the summary from the response message content. So this is like the chat response. You can get lots of information from it if you want to, but not useful for this stream, I don't think. And then what we're going to do is dispatch a fetch RSS feed for source. So what this will do is it will accept the source as an argument, and then it will run this fetch RSS feed action, which is just going to return a new RSS service class, which I built. So it basically just passes in the feed which is DGRSS PHP, best one that I've seen. And that will give me basically just a feed, RSS feed straight out of the box, by creating this and grabbing all of the XML and kind of pre-building everything ready to go. So from this RSS, it allows me to get the whole thing as an array, the whole feed as an array, or to get specific items from a key. So if the array key doesn't exist, then we're going to throw an exception. Otherwise, we're going to return this to array and then key. There's probably a nicer way to do this, right? Probably is, but it's quick, it's dirty, and it gets the job done. So once we've got the feed, once we've got the RSS, we want to get the item. Now, if you look at any RSS feed, typically it will have item as the, let's go forward. So, this one's entry. Ooh, okay, so this one might fail. So we probably, this is an atom feed though, isn't it? So this one may fail. May have to work on that bit a little bit. So ignoring that part, we will then dispatch pass RSS item. And this RSS item will basically just be passed in. Here's a source, the identifier, and here's the array from the item. So we can then say, okay, so let's create a new feed item for this source. This was when it was published, just using the most common kind of formats that I've seen in RSS. Then we're going to get the content encoded, which is normally what's passed through in RSS, or if that's not available, the description. Again, link URL or GUID is the most common ones. And then the title is usually there. I've never seen a title not be there. The biggest problem with RSS is that while it's a specification, it still works without following it, which is super annoying because it's just an XML feed at the end of the day. Right, so that is all of that. That will then pass and create it for us. So if we come back to our env, and we're just going to change this back to database, come over to here, PHP artisan, we're just going to config clear it, and then PHP artisan, we're going to migrate fresh and seed. Perfect. So now what I want to do is make sure that that job is running in the background. So artisan queue work. So hopefully we don't see any failures here. So far, so good. We are hitting that external, that API. But I am going to have some cleanup to do when it comes to dub.co, because 1 to 40 of 40, 1 to 42 of 42. I'm going to have some cleanup to do with some of this afterwards, but that is life, I guess. So that's all running, that's all working, that's great. We're getting data in there. So now what we want to do, we kind of want to display it, right? So let's come over to our resources, views. I'm using Folio for this actually, first time in a while. So we've got pages. Here is my main index page. Here's my dashboard. Actually don't need that anymore, I don't think. So let's just make sure I'm not killing anything. So just stevemcd@gmail.com, password of password, bam, I'm in. So I've got my dashboard and I'm good to go. So let's go and have a look at Flux. And what we want here is likely just like a card, like a really simple card, perhaps. Text area, tabs, table. I mean, a table would be super useful, but I don't think it's what I want. Switch separator, navbar, modal, input icon, heading. Let's add a heading first. So, oh wait, we've got a heading. We don't need to add a heading. Perfect. Yeah, card is going to be my best bet right now. Let's go to a simple card. And what we're just going to do is going to grab that. So let's come back here. Build first, make it work, then refactoring. Exactly. So it is now working and it looks reasonable enough. So what I want is, I'm just going to make a div. This is why I don't do front end. My typos just make things work the wrong way. So my app, layout app, if we come over to components, layouts app, this uses a sidebar brand input, lots of stuff going around here. All of this stuff, super not useful for this right now. And then we got this main. So we got this flex, self-stretch, max, padding top stuff. And we got toasts going on. There's all sorts of crazy Flux stuff going on. A sticky stashable sidebar, which just sounds so fun. And then we just want this card here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a section and add a card. Let's go have a look at that. So this is what we've got by default. And as we shrink this down, all is good. Although I will remove that padding top for now, because I don't think it's useful. This is all there. So there we go. So boop. Right, okay, so I need to customize this part here. So let's come back and come to here and say, I don't want this are you sure stuff. We'll just do a quick welcome back auth user. We'll improve this a little bit later. Okay, so let's just what was I doing? There we go, that bit. So section. Ooh, we don't want double section. Let's just remove one of them. Right, we are getting there. We are getting there. Me doing UI is never a good idea, right? So, welcome back to Steve McDougall, blah, blah, blah. Don't need a button. All good. We can do go read some content and stop watching Star Trek. Awesome. So we got this going on. So now what we want to do is just kind of loop over all of the sources. So up here we can say public function sources. This is going to return a collection like so. Simplify that one. Then we can return source query get for now. So let's just simplify that, and we will add a computed tag to this because that will cache it in between requests, I believe. So makes it easier. So then after this, what we want to do is have a for each this sources as source. Let's just echo out for now that source name or source title. So it is there, it's just dark. There you go, you can see it. So Laravel and Laravel news is all there. Fantastic. So what do we want to do? Let's just add a class here quickly and say space y6. Give it some, some space. Then this bit here needs to be wrapped in something. Hello, James. Long time no see. I used to work with this dude. Right, okay, so we've got that. We're going to drop that in there. And what we will do is we will say we're going to width full this. And we'll just do like in a grid. And we'll do like grid cols. Ooh. We're going to do 3. We're going to add a gap of 4. Then instead of that, we're going to drop a flux card in. So let's go grab a card again. Drop that in there. And let's go see how that looks for now. So we've got 2 cards. Fantastic. We have got 2 cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that this is a col span 1. That's fine. We've got 2 sources. So heading is going to be source title. We've got Laravel and Laravel news. So then what I'm able to do is this bit, I can actually say source summary, which is an AI summary. I don't even know what's coming back there. That is ridiculous. Okay, so let's stick with the description for now. The official Laravel blog and your official Laravel news source. Perfect. Let's come to Flux, go look at these buttons, and I don't want the danger variant. I want perhaps just primary, I think, maybe. Primary is going to be reasonable for what I need. So we can just say view on that one. So go view that, go view that. And then if I switch to light mode, that should toggle. Sorry for your eyes there, anyone watching this in the dark. Button variant. Then what I can do is add a href here. Let me just quickly go check my routes. Laravel folio is there. So what I need to quickly do in my views, pages, we're going to say sources, and then we are going to, within here, we want to make a new route quickly. So a PHP artisan, we want to use folio page. So if we just quickly come to Laravel docs and search for folio, what we want to do is root model binding, folio page for not that. We want to say source and sources. There we go. That created that part for me. Fantastic. So that's going to link through to there, which means that over here, I should be able to change this href. How do we link to it, though? That's the question. Linky links. Root parameters. It should just work out the box, I think. Let's folio list. Source sources. Let's just test it, right? So it's not going to work, is it? It's not going to work. Okay, so URL. Sources followed by source ID. something like that. Let's see if that works. Unexpected token and if. So what did I break and what did I do? Let's just remove that for now. Line 42. Okay, so something to do with echoing that out in there is causing a problem. Let's just there we go. So if I do this, we can go and we are viewing a source and another source. Perfect. Let's just come over to this part here and work. This is using root model binding. So let's go and we should, in theory, if we look at this root model binding down here, we should have access it to that kind of by default. So I should be able to just, let's just grab that and drop it in. So source, this should have source title, right? Source Laravel news, source Laravel. It is working. We've confirmed that. We can worry about that view in a little bit. So what I also want to do on the heading up here is just say that I also want to get a count of any feed items, basically. So we can say with count on the items. So let's just drop items in there. So that on this source title, then I should be able to say source, I think it's items count. Yeah, there we go. But I don't want that space there. So we've got none from Laravel, but we've got 20 from Laravel News. We're getting there. So now when we go to view it, we want to obviously route to here, and then this Laravel News card will move to the top, and then we'll have a list of all of the news articles. Is what I'm going for here. So I can kind of quickly see it and work with it and do some magic. Okay, so next up, what we want to do is we can actually give it a name. That'll be useful. So I'm going to do a Stephen declare strict types even in my views because it's what I do. Right, okay, so we've got a new class which extends component. May as well put that on the same line. And we will simplify that one. And what we want is middleware. You've got to be authenticated and verified to access this page. And we're going to give this page a name, sources show. Simplify that. Actually, I don't think we need that name. That name might just be completely pointless right now. We'll come back to the name part, I think. So we've got the source. So in theory, what we could probably do, if we go source like that, is that going to break anything? What I need, Vault. And Vault. And instead of dashboard, pages sources.show. Okay, it's not breaking anything, which is a good start. So sourcey, sourcey, source. All of that's all working fantastically, I think. So what we need is to say x layouts.app. Just drop that in there. So we've got that. Fantastic. So now we can literally just kind of grab that, come over here. Within here, just drop this. Let's just close that section off for now. And we're going to say just source title. And then let's just dump out the source and see what we can work with. Use that. I'm not seeing any. Okay, let's move it outside of Flux for now. Okay, so we've got attributes. So we've got the logo, which is great. Feed, description. Summary is just coming back a little bit funky, so I'll kind of kick that into gear in a little bit, but we are good so far, I think. So I can just say like source description. Your official Laravel news source. Perfect. That is that part done. So next, what we want to do again is have this div here just to give it some space. And we're going to say width full for now. We're just going to leave it at that. And let's go look at Flux again. Maybe this time we're going to use a table. Let's just grab this table here. This table will do. Ooh. With pagination, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Maybe I'll use cards for now. I don't want to dive too deep into Flux when it's still relatively early, right? Flux is still quite new. So we're going to width full it. We're going to say grid. We're going to go grid cols. Let's go for 3 again, and again a gap of 4. Then within here, what I need to do is have a public function items. This is going to return a collection. Which allows me to say return feed item query where the column source ID operator is equals and the value. Come on, keyboard. Value is this source ID. It's going to get all of them. Simplify that, and then computed there, and simplify it. Perfect. So I should be able to now go for else this items as item. We can then also have this empty state going on. Oops. Nothing to see here for now. We're just going to do that. So, Laravel news. We're getting everything. Fantastic. We can see stuff. So let's fill in this card quickly, and we can say item title. Then we can grab our AI summary. So item summary. It is coming back in lots of different Okay, I might need to work on this a little bit to give it something a little bit cleaner. So let's, for now, just go for like a description, maybe. Oh, no. We'll drop the subheading for now. And what we'll do is click on read. And what we'll do is class space y of 4. Just give that a little bit of breathing room there. And this href is going to be item dub link. But before I do that, I want to look at this, come down to buttons as a link, and add icon trailing arrow up right. So let's quickly make this a little bit nicer. Press there. That's on that. I'm not 100% sure if it does the all the kind of rel stuff. Ooh. No, follow. I can never remember what it's meant to be. Okay, so this should then go to Laravel config checker. Come back again, click it, come over to dub. And now if I come here, should be able to come down and I should see that config checker has only got one click because it's seeing me as the same person, which is useful. Link, click. Yeah, fantastic. So it's seeing me as the same person, which is really useful. So what I can actually do is start to get the analytics as well, which is really cool. I can get analytics for links and all sorts to come back. So I can go view something. I can go view this and see if it's useful. Eventually, I'd like it to be summarizing things. But right now, I'm not going to worry about summarizing it. I'm going to kind of do something else. So manage content streams. Here we go. View that. Nothing to see here. Not too bothered about that. So let's have a look at our create a quick command. So we're going to make a command and we're going to put this one under dub. We're going to get all of the links in case I want to kind of quickly manage them. Links command. So I can delete all of that rubbish. Don't want that. And I can say as command, the name for my command is going to be dub links, and the description is list all dub.co links. That should be returning int, and we will return self success there. So now what we want to do is let's go to prompts. What we're going to want to do is, multi-search could be really cool. If you have a list of searchable options, need viewers to be able to select multiple items. That kind of cool, but not what I need right now. Stop it, Steve. Stop it. Okay, tables. We're going to get a table, and we're going to do that. But beforehand, we will get... So we're going to use the spin component to start with. So we are going to get... Let's just pull in that dub SDK directly. So what we want to do is links is going to be dub links. You can do a count or you can do a get. I'm going to do a get for now. So That could potentially throw an SDK exception. I don't have to kind of be super specific here, which is great. I'm going to get it from the API instead of my internal stuff. So what I want to do is wrap this in a spin like that. The message is going to be fetching your links from dub.co, and the callback is going to be that. Sort those arguments. So now if I just go a dub links, fetching your links from dub.co, a domain key or link ID or external ID to retrieve a link. Ooh, okay, so get is possibly the wrong one. List is what I need. List. Ooh, 0 pass. So I need to pass in an argument. Hello, Ben and Kieran. So list. What do we want is retrieve a list of links. So that request is going to be a get links request, new get links request, and this can take the arguments of domain, tags, tag name, search, sort page, float page size. I'm just going to leave it as standard for now. Keep it standard, keep it simple. Dub links, fetching your links from dub.co. Perfect. So now I can then use like a table or a select or something like that. So let's look at a table to start with. So table and headers. This is what we're going to want. So let's just drop that in, and we are going to import that. And then we're going to go rows. We're going to say links. Links is coming back as a closure. I wonder if I need to put links in there and just remove that, because it shouldn't do. It shouldn't do. It should be fine. So list is going to return a get links response. So I might just have to tag this as a get links response. So then down here, I can say links. We're going to get the schema. This is going to be an array of link schemas. We're going to have a domain, URL, so that sort of stuff. So I can say, I don't know, let's say ID, domain, URL for now. We'll do that. So if that's an array of link schemas, I should, in theory, do an array map where the array is that, and the callback can be ID is link ID, domain is link domain, and the URL is that. This can then be static, and we can say that it is going to return an array. Now let's see how that looks. Bam. Okay, we're getting something. The domain isn't actually important, so we can just remove that domain because we don't want it. Let's do it again. There we go. We're getting everything. ID and URL. Fantastic. But let's add an abstraction, because down here in our service, we've got short links. So we can create a short link, get meta for short links. So public function list get links response. So let's return this dub links list. The request is going to be new get links request. So over on our link command, we can actually refactor this so that we're pulling in short link instead of dub. So we can then say dub list, not needing to pass that in, which means I can remove that part and that part. And let's just fix up that file. So far, so good. Let's make sure it's still doing the same business. Dub links, still getting everything. Perfect. Next up, what I want to be able to do is like delete them. So how could I do that? How could I do that? You can see some of the ones that I've got that I'm going to keep, like this live stream, one that I link for where I work, stuff that you can see in the video description down the bottom. I know. Let's add a meta command. Let's see what the meta stuff is. So let's open up that meta command. And what we're going to do is let's go a step further and say, as command, name is going to be dub meta description. We'll come back to that. So let's go to dub.co in a separate tab. Click on help. Come down to the docs. API here. So links, analytics, tags, domains, meta tags. So you can retrieve meta tags for a URL. This is kind of useful for several reasons. So let's say, for example, part of my process of creating a short link, I get the meta tags, and then I can actually add the meta image that would have been there to the feed item. So it's a little bit nicer to look at, I guess, is probably what we'd be looking at there. So maybe we don't want meta, but what we're probably going to want to look at here is, well, we can get a QR code. That's kind of cool. Retrieve analytics. So we can do analytics. And then I believe you can group by, go for a domain, link ID. I can pass through a specific link. So what I can do here is if I inject short link as dub, we are going to just refactor this and rename. And we're going to call this analytics command. Fetch the analytics for a dub.co link. Let's just add a quick alias. So we're going to want like a DA, because it's something I might do quite often. What's the full form? I haven't created the form yet, actually. So we're going to do that in a little while. So at this point, we are going to get all of the links I've stored locally. That is what's important here. Not everything that's on my account, but everything I've got locally. So for this, I want to do more like a select, really. Additional validate, multi-select if you need to select. Okay, I don't want to do that. I want to select a single value. So let's just go for something like this. Let's just add that, and let's just go and run that. So ADA. Perfect. That works. So what we want to do is which short link do you want to see analytics for? Then options. What we can do here, if we come back, we kind of want to look at the options, name and ID. Okay, so bang. Not category. What we want is feed item. So let's just query and pluck the column. We want to get the title and the ID, perhaps. So let's have a look. That's pretty cool. But I'm sure you can go a step further and add search to it. Search options. Oh, but okay, a lot of options for users. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we don't want the select, we want the search. Options. There we go. Yes, the Go build is now working, and it is in fact on just come to just chocolatey.org or something. Chocolatey. Let's search for. No. It was an absolute pain. I'm not going to lie. Never publish anything to Microsoft. Okay, so what you can do is community.chocolatey, find packages. Yes, I understand. Yes, I accept. And oh, okay. So I need to update some links or something on that, from what I remember. But that's something for later. So here we go. Okay. Cannot assign collection to prompt search prompt matches of type, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Get. Let's see how that actually works. Stop distracting me, Ben. It's actually really easy to build for Windows, but it's difficult to kind of publish for Windows. Okay, so we are going to go and do feed item query where like blah, 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 name. We'll swap that title, swap that for, this might not be what I'm looking for. So we're going to kind of have a look. So which short link do you want to, so we want to, okay, that really died. Undefined method, blah, blah, okay. That was a typo. ADA. So I can go, okay, let's look at that, for example. So I can do that stuff. Got to be a nicer way to do this. hint, blah, 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 placeholder is start typing the title of the feed item. Fix all that. Sort those arguments. And there we go. So at this point, I should have a item. So after that, we will quickly dump on that item just to make sure everything is all good. Blah, 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 blah. Deep dive into sessions. Okay, so we've got an ID. Fantastic. What I can now do is yeah, I'm just leaving it at that. I don't know why all. I'm using get. Oh no, because it's plucking. Ignore me. Ignore me. I don't know what I'm talking about, apparently. Right, let me have a quick sip of my drink and we'll carry on. So we can get the ID, which is fantastic. Be nice if we could get like the actual thing, but I'm not going to be too picky. So we're going to call that selected. Down here, we're just going to say that the item is going to be feed item query find selected. It's almost like it new. Okay, so now we can, analytics is going to be spin. Callback is something or other. And the message is going to be fetching analytics for item title. Why is it complaining? No pointer. No, it went. Okay, so this is where we can actually use that short link. So we can say dub, and we're going to get analytics for an item dub ID. That is what we want to do. Not what we're going to do currently, but it's what we are going to do. Plug is not optimized. You're fetching everything. I'm going to refilter factor stuff in a bit. Don't worry. I just want to get something working. So let's come back to my short link service, which is basically wrapping this dub SDK. It works nicely, but I need to wrap it because you need to add that kind of that business layer around it where it makes sense for you what you're doing. So let's add public function analytics. We're going to have a string which is going to be that link ID. I'm going to name it here similar to what it is in the SDK. So return this dub analytics retrieve, and the request is going to be a new retrieve analytic request. Retrieve analytic request there. And then we can say that the link ID, I could even do that. So link ID is going to be that link ID. And then this is going to return retrieve analytic response. And there we go. Now, I'll add kind of error reporting on that stuff later, but for now, let's just leave that. So at this point, let's just do a quick dump on analytics. So let's give ourselves some space to see what we're doing. Let's get some analytics. So let's get that session one again. Fetching analytics, bang, there we go. We've got everything. Fantastic. So that analytics is actually going to be a, let's just kind of doc block analytics there. So we can say analytics, let's get, it's going to be one of something. Let's go clicks. None. No. Okay, so it's got an analytics count. So this is where we got to be a little bit careful because with the way that this works, this one of, it could be an analytics browsers, cities, counts, countries, devices, OS. We could technically request any of those. So at the minute, we're just getting that default clicks. So on this short link here, we can actually be specific about what we request, I believe. So retrieve analytics request. Let's come back to their API a second. And let's see what we can do. So that's the default behavior there. Analytics retrieve is going to do that. So we can say specific time zones, any devices, any referrers, referral URL. We can be super, super specific. And then if the response is not null, then we're going to kind of display it. If it is null, then we'll do something different. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you do need to have a pro plan or something to get analytics from the API. But because I do, that's useful. Oh. Okay, so let's then come back to our analytics command. And what we're going to do here is if the analytics one of is null, then what we're going to do is just drop a quick info where the message is no analytics stored yet for item title. And let's just drop that, come up to here. So info, search, spin. Right, just ignore that for now. So if we haven't got analytics, then we'll do that. If we do, then we're going to do a quick table. No. Come up to top. Let's just pull in table as well. So let's get a table and the headers. That and the rows is that. Analytics, one of. Let's see what it does. So we're going to have clicks, leads, sales amount. So clicks, leads, sales amount. Now this may not work out of the box, so let's give it a minute. Let's go to session again. Okay, add row, argument row must be of type that or that. Analytics count given. So that's giving me an analytics count. So I'm only going to have one, the clicks, leads, sales amount. Let's see if that works. So that's my analytics for that. So far, so good. I can get analytics. Let's do it again. And we're going to say this new config checker because I know I've clicked that. We've clicked it once. And this lead sales and sales amount is something that I'm not actually using, but it's useful to have in certain circumstances, I guess. On top of this, I think clicks lead sales composite. Ooh, event composite. I don't know what that's going to do. So let's have a look. Okay, so let's come to here. And let's say that our event, it needs to be an enum event, operations event. So let's go to this and let's go for event composite. So event composite. And let's see, this may die. It doesn't. Okay. So clicks lead sales composite. So I'm guessing composite is yeah, something different. Defaults to clicks. Okay. So I don't actually need that, but I'm going to keep it in there anyway. Let's go back to the API. So I can retrieve a link, start tagging things, I guess, create a new tag, retrieve a list of tags. That could be something that's useful. So let's take a more complex example now, right? So we're going to make a command. And we're going to call this tag link. So we're going to do something very similar up here, where we're going to get it selected and get it and then do something with it. So let's tag link. We're going to just delete that. And we're going to say as command, where the name is dub tag and description is going to be start adding tags to a link. And aliases is going to be DT. Something kind of useful there, right? So let's just pull all that in. So we're going to get a feed item. And what we want to do at the end is just return self success. Fantastic. But once we've kind of got this feed item, we want to kind of work with AI to summarize the content, right? Now, this feed item is going to have the description, and the description is the content itself. So we are able to use something like Olama to then really summarize it, basically. So let's just kind of close other tabs there. What we want to do here is, I think, just pull in Olama. So over in our Olama thingy, instead of summarizing and giving it a URL, what we want to do is public function tags, perhaps, and then we're going to give this string for content. So we want to return this SDK, and we're going to chat. So the chat that we send, let's make sure I do it in the same way. So we're going to do a chat make data. So what we want to do is say model, stream, and format. all good. Then the messages is kind of like the main thing that we send over. So let's just do that. It's got to be, actually, there's going to be a nicer way to do this bit. So protected function, cat, maybe. This is going to return a chat, perhaps return chat, make data. If I grab this, okay, make that private. So once I've got a chat, that's just a standard thing that I can use. And we're going to pass in an array of messages. Like that. So then what I can actually do is just grab this. Instead of doing chat make, I can say this chat where the messages is that. Just really simplify it. Because I'm going to always be using the same model. Right, okay, so the system is going to be, this is our system prompt. Using the, I'll do the system one afterwards. So using the following content, create a comma separated list of tags you would use to categorize this content. And then this is going to have that content passed through. That's our user. You are a summarization agent. Your main task is to take long form content and pull out relevant tags that relate to it. No additional conversation or confirmation is required. Simply return a comma separated list. Let's do something like that. Let's see if that's going to work. And that will return chat response generator again. So come back to this tag link. So we are going to then go and say the response is going to be Olama tags content item description, and we'll die and dump on that response. Message content. So let's have a look now. So that's DT. So we're going to be tagging this session thing. Undefined array key options. Where's that? Request chat. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Down here, then we're going to have options, default options. Perfect. Right. Let's do that again. Let's see what this does. Lumen wizard, next step validation, wizard controller. Am I a new Bill Gates? Definitely not. Definitely not. Okay, so if that's giving me everything that I want, that's kind of some really messed up thing going on there. So what I want to do is when I get that data, maybe this is something that I can refactor the SDK to use. So let's just decode that content. And let's see. Okay, that's not super useful. Okay. That is a really messy approach. I wonder if switching that format out and just removing that formatting will help. So it's coming back, it's still coming back like that, but it's not messing it all up. Which is super weird. It's still giving me everything that I wanted, but it's got to be able to come up with better lists than that, right? You prompt engineers, how do you work with this stuff? Like, even following content create comma separated list of all tags you would use to categorize. There's got to be a nicer way to do this. Well, I mean, to be fair, it is doing what I'm asking it to. So maybe I shouldn't complain right now and I'll work on the prompt another time, but and pull out the relevant tags, blah, blah, blah. No, simply return a comma separated list in string format. Okay, last attempt. Come on, let's summarize that. Okay, I don't even know what it's doing there. Oh no. What are you doing to me? Maybe it's because I'm using that word categorization or something. That could be it. Create a comma separated list of tags you would use to describe the main points this content covers. Let's try slightly tweaking that. Use the same one, so we're gonna work on the results. And it's given me that. Okay, so let's remove that. Mind you, Llama could be the wrong model, right? Wizard session management, user tests, next step request, session-based approach, form data valid. Like, I don't even know what it's even trying to say here. So yes, prompts are needed. But the point is, once we've got this content here, this JSON darn content, we can then loop over those to add them as tags is the plan. So, you know, we'd use short link here as dub, And let's just grab that and say that llama tags, we're going to get the message to array. And let's just dump out that response and see what it does now. Bloop. So it's formatting things really weirdly, but we're getting something. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that I'm using local AI for this. That's the main thing. Like Llama 3 may be the wrong thing to use here. Yeah, I could download a different model and still use it locally. But I want to make sure that all of this is kind of relatively free. The only thing paid so far is Dub, and that's because I want to do analytical tracking, which you kind of need to pay for a lot of the time unless you want to maintain that architecture and infrastructure yourself. It's a pain. I think we've mostly tried that. So instead of saying to array, what happens if we say to string? Is this going to give me something different? Not really. Not really. Okay. We'll ignore that. We're just going to get that message there. So then that is going to have content, and that content we will JSON decode. We can say that the JSON is that response content, and we will use an associative array. Flags, we will do JSON throw an error just to make sure that things are working as we would expect. So we've got something. We've got main wizard session, redirect sessions. So we can grab this. So what I can then do is, if I just grab that JSON decode, and we can say that our tags is that for now. Fix a whole file. I don't know why it always does this. This depth thing is never. All right, let's just do it their way, see if it works. So JSON associative depth is default, and flags is JSON throw an error. Not too bothered about that. Okay, so we've got tags. Again, if we down dump on tags, what we want to do is, this is giving me an array. So if I get that, it will give me an array. Ooh, syntax error somewhere. What did I do? Why am I getting a syntax error? Tag link line 36. What did I do wrong? JSON decode. JSON associative depth and flags. But if we die and dump on that, it wasn't failing. So what could be going on? Okay, we're just going to undo lots of stuff. Let's keep that like that. I don't know what's going on. That was the last phrase that it was working. And now it's failing again. Damn you. JSON decode, JSON associative. Let's see if it is the associative stuff that's causing the problem. Because if it is, then I'll have to do something else. Null. Okay. Okie dokie dokie dokie. Try again. So there we go. We're getting something. Pass true as a second argument again. Okay, so that is working. So I know that this will get what I need. Might not be how I do it, but it works. Tags is that. Dine dump tags. Make sure we're getting what we need. I mean, eventually I'm going to write tests for this, obviously. But yeah, so tags is that. Fantastic. So what I'm able to do now is say, I don't know, for each tags as tag, add tag to link using item dub ID. So let's come back to Arc. So when we tag something, we can create a new tag, the body, create a new tag, retrieve a list of tags, links. When we create a link, we've got to get tag IDs, tag names, update a link. Can we update tag IDs or tag names? Scroll down. Where am I? Tag names. Okay, so we can pass through, we can update a link. So let's go for dub. What we want to do is tag item dub ID. This can be a string or an array of strings. We want to pass tag names. Okay, I think I know what I'm doing. So let's just add a spin. The message is going to be applying tags to, oh, wait, double quote it so I can do this, item title. And then the callback is going to be dub tag, or maybe we'll call it like apply tags. And then what we will do is say that the link ID is the item dub ID, and that the tags is tags. So now on this short link, I can add down here, public function, apply tags. So we're going to get a string for that link ID, and then we're going to get an array for the tags. So we can return this dub links. We want to update where the link ID is that link ID, and the request body. Let's see what it takes. A update link request body. New update link request body. Tag names. Tag names is an array, so we can just pass, hopefully, that through. What we want to do is array values for tags to make sure we're not getting like that tag part. So hopefully, update link response simplified that. And hopefully, that will tag the link. So let's go to dub and make sure that this session one, where is it? Config, Laravel sessions. Currently, it doesn't have any tags. This has got live streaming, just debugging, and DevRel. Laravel sessions has got no tags. So this is either going to break everything or it will be all right. And I'm not sure which one. Unprocessable entity, invalid tag names detected. Okay, so I've got to create the tags. Oh, that's a pain. Okay. So that means I've got to come over and actually create a new tag, name, color, and tag. So for each tags as tag, then we're going to use dub to create a tag. We're going to, each time we create a tag, we're then going to push the identifier up to here, or the name up to there. So on my short link, we want to come and say public function create tag. I'm going to say string name. We'll add a couple of extra arguments in a minute. Return this dub tags create where that request is going to be new create tag request body. And we're going to want the name, color, and tag. So we could, in theory, go to Olama here. And when we're saying create tags, you would use like this, blah, blah, blah. Return each tag as an object with name, tag, and an appropriate color hex as properties. So come back to tag links and let's go ahead and die and dump on tags, because we might be able to just automate a lot of this, make it so much easier. Let's come back to session as well. Session, let's see what it gives me. No, it doesn't. It gives me nothing. Absolutely nothing. return each tag as a JSON object with name, tag, and color as JSON properties. Let's try that again. Where's a prompt engineer when you need one, right? Nope. Comma separated list. Okay. That's probably going to be an issue. Using the following content, create a list of tags we use. Main point. Okay, so now let's try it because we're removing that comma separated part. Class-based approach to insight, storing data. Okay, main points. It's giving me the main points. You describe the. Okay, so let's take that. Okay, a list of tags you would use covers. Let's try one more time before I give up on. Oh my God, what are you doing? Didn't even try that time. There we go. Tags. We've got some tags. Maybe I need to start pushing some of this to a background job. What do you guys think? Background job it? Because we're starting to do too much in one place, if you ask me. Fix that. Okay, so start typing. So we're going to get that. And then once we've got the item, what we will do is we're going to say spin. The message is going to be dispatching workflow to start tagging item title. Yeah. Callback. We're going to get a this and a that and a that and a this. So what we want, instead of pulling all of that into there, we're going to remove all of that for now, and we will pull in I believe you can do like a change job, batch job. I'm just going to use the dispatcher. That one, dispatcher, and we are going to say dispatcher, dispatch. We are going to say that the command is a new tag doublink. And the link ID is the item dub ID. That's all we want. No? I don't need anything to come back or to update the model in any way. So I can now just say, let's make a job. My job name and convention currently is all under content. So what I'm going to do is local AI and say tag doublink. and expect return. Okay, my bad. Now I can import that. This is going to have a public read-only string for that link ID. That is now done. I can close that off. That will dispatch the job. And we can just tidy that up. So we are going to want Olama in here. Then we're going to want the short link in here as dub. So we've got a link ID. We also, actually, we want to get more than just that, don't we? So console, dub, tag link. So alongside that, we're going to pass through the content that it's going to tag. So item description. So over here, we're also going to want to get the public read-only string description. So then we're going to just play around with it. So Olama tags content for this description. And we're just going to use Tinkerwell to do some of this. I think Tinkerwell will help. So let's open up Herd SteveOS, this one. And what we want to do is use this. Use local AI tag dub link. So our job is going to be a new, actually, before that, let's give ourselves some kind of space so we can all see it. We're also going to use app models feed item. So the item that we want to get for this is going to be feed item query in random order first. Awesome. We're going to get a different one each time. Excellent. So our job, so I can't see the comment, LOLO mark. So we're going to say new tag dub link. That's our job. Okay. We're going to say tag dub link dispatch. And the arguments that we're going to pass through is going to be the item dub ID and then the item description. That's dispatching it. Pending dispatch. Ooh, that's not what I want to do. Okay, so let's open up our .env quickly and swap this back to sync in the hopes that we will see it. So yeah, that's now operating and doing stuff. And okay, all of that. Okay, it's just echoing out that job, isn't it? That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, I'll just do it over here. Okay, so that job is going to tag that and then get all the content. So ADT, let's just, okay, content, unknown named parameter content. Oh, my bad. Content. Config checker. Cool. Tag color, tag color, tag. We're getting somewhere. Oh, legend. Absolute legend. So now what we're doing here is we are getting the tags, the message. So down dump on tags. Config checker. I know it worked on that one. We have got an array of tags. And if we JSON decode tags, content true, hopefully this will be what I want. Name, summary, tags, Laravel, config checker, package, Christy Carlo, config check. So we've got some tags. Fantastic. I can now start looping through these. So I've got a short link and I've got a llama. So for each if I do content there, what I could probably do is if I JSON decode that into an associative array, and let's just die and dump, make sure it's still working. Fantastic. We're getting there. Name, tag, and color. What we can then do is for each collect tags as tag. Let's die and dump on that first tag and make sure we are getting what we want still. Moment of truth. Name, color, tag. Oh my God, amazing. Amazing. We're getting somewhere. AI is learning. Simplify that one. Right. Okay. So what we can now do is dub create tag where the name is it's coming through as an array. So what I could probably do over on here where we're creating that tag is we could pass through an array for that tag, and we can say that the param for tag is an array shape where we've got name as string, tag as string, and color as string. So this create tag request body, we can say that name is tag name, color, and tag. Fantastic, fantastic. Create tag where the tag is a tag. Just pass that tag in. So let's just collect an array of these tags for now. This is going to return a response of create tag response, which is going to give me tag schema. an ID, a name, and a color. So that tag tab link, create tag. So we can just say that the response is that for now. And then we want to say tagged response tag schema. Let's go back to the docs where we're updating a link. We want to say tag ID, tags ID. So where's that doing that? I'm actually not sure. There we go. Tags ID. So it's just an array of IDs. So I can pass this tag schema ID into there. That'll loop through all of that. Then I can say dub link ID, this link ID, and then tags is tagged, hopefully. Simplify that one. Whew. Moment of truth. Let's tag the config checker package. Okay, so something happened. Something happened. Argument color must be of type operations color. No, tag schema. Color. Oh, okay, so it's got to be red, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink, or brown. Okay, so now we can come over to Olama. Red. Let's just boot this over here. Red, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink, brown. Let's see if now if it pays attention to that. Tag double link, tags, blah, blah, blah. Let's just die and dump on the tags again. Red, yellow, brown. Perfect. So we're getting somewhere. We are actually getting somewhere. String given. Okay, so we don't want it to be a string. Create tag, tag, short link where we got the color. So this bit here, what we want is color from where the value is that. Ooh. Unnamed array key name. No, it's lost it. It's lost it. Why is it? Okay. So short link, what we will do is say that name is null string and say tag there. We will get there. We will get there. Right, okay, so dispatching. Is it going to happen? Oh my God, what is going on now? Tag with that name already exists. Oh my God. Damn it. Damn it. The only thing I could possibly do there is maybe come to dub, come to settings. Is this where I've got my tags? Config checker. Okay, so it would be nice if there was an update or create on tags. I can update or create, because tags are very kind of a lot more freeform. So it'd be really useful if that was the case. Because when I'm looping over all of this sort of content, I might be creating the same ones over and over again. And I don't really want to have to store tags locally and keep them in sync, but that might be what I need to do. So for now, let's do that. Make model migration factory. Cool. Yeah, it's such a pain. Like, that would be so cool if I could like just update or create, just get that done out of the way. So tags, right. Let's get to some Laravel again. Fix the whole file, make that static. We're going to make this a ULID with an ID of that. We're going to have a table with a string for the name, a table, a string for the tag, a table with a string for the color, where the default is color dub operations, and we're just going to go for blue. There we go. We're going to bind directly to a vendor. I've seen no issues using it, to be honest. So string, then we've got like the dub ID, and we want this to be unique. Okay, so now what we want to do is create a command called sync, basically syncing the tags. So let's make a command. We're going to say dub sync tags. So open sync tags. We're just going to call this one as command. The name is going to be dub sync tags. The description is going to be sync tags from dub.co. And the aliases is going to be the sync. Something really simple. There we go. So when we handle this, what we want to do is pull in dub. We're just going to pull the library directly in. So we're going to say that our tags is dub tags list, but we will use a spin. And our callback is fetching that. And the message is going to be fetching all tags from dub.co. This is going to give me a, let's just fix that. This should give me get tags response. So get tags response. Then for each tags tag schema, that's an array, perfect. As tag, what we want to do is say tag query update or create based on the ID. So the attributes are going to be the dub ID is going to be that tag ID. And then the values will be name, tag name, color, tag color, and the tag itself will be tag. I thought that would have had tag schemas, tag schema, ID, name, and color. Okay, so it doesn't have a tag on it. So I think tags, we don't actually need a tag there. So we're just going to have a name and a color there. I'm not going to work on the factory. Instead, I'll just come straight over to the model here. So we've got name and a color. We have a use has UL IDs. Fillable is going to be name, color, dub ID. Casts, we are going to have color as color. Let's find the right one. Dub operations, class. Again, returns an array. Return an array of string, string, class string. And up here, we're going to return an array of int string. And then we're just going to quickly property string for the ID. Property string for that name. Property color for the color. String for the ID. Carbon interface for the created at and the updated at. There we go. That is pretty good for what I need. So we'll just migrate it. Fantastic. So sync. Okay, so it's not expected models component color. Models component color. Okay, so it's not operations. It is a different one. Import components color. And we're going to import this one again. So let's roll back, migrate, and sync. Fantastic. I mean, what we could possibly do here is for each one, we could like have some output, but I'm not super phased about that. So now we've got tags. What we want to do is in our job, instead of creating a tag on dub, what we want to do is use this tag and save it locally. I think, maybe. Oh, yeah, no, that'll work. That'll work. I know what I'm doing. Quick tags. So if dub is also nullable, so a migrate, roll back, and now migrate again. Open up tag. Let's make sure that I know that this is indeed nullable. Fantastic. Then when we are syncing tags, where not null, columns dub ID. We can do that. Then what we could probably do is, I don't really know. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? People, what was I thinking? I can't remember. So we're going to get all of the tags from Dub, sync them, store them locally. Then maybe what we could do is, I don't know, for each tag query where null dub ID as tag, we could probably then say dub tags create, and that request is going to be new create tag request body. There's a name. There's a color. I don't actually think tag's got tag on it, so we're just going to use name again. There we go. So what we can do is where we don't have any, we're going to store them up there, then we're going to sync them. Okay, if we do that first, any new tags should get a dub ID. Because what we're doing is we're creating them up on dub. And then what we're going to do is, again, loop over that haven't been created on dub and basically update. Right? That work? Let's see. Okay, synced. Perfect. So now what happens when we come to this, we want to create a tag. What we want to do is actually store this tag locally, because then the command will then do it differently, I think. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm doing anymore. So the stored tag is going to be tag query update or create. And I guess the attributes here is going to be the name, and the values is going to be color, I think. That'll create it if it doesn't exist, and then do some stuff. Tag model. Now that should be the right one. Yeah, I did fix that, but thank you. Okay, so stored. Then once we've stored them, what we want to do is, I suppose, I mean, we could like call artisan call think tags. I don't know what that does. hopefully that'll work. Then go through and hopefully at this point I can then say tagged is stored name. Just kind of like push that into the list there. Let's just see. Let's see what happens. ADT config. Let's see where we are. Burp, burp. Okay, undefined array key name. Here. Try that again. There we go. Color must be of type model operations color, model's component color given. Why is that happening? No, it's not a real OS. It is a pretend OS. Completely pretend. It is a web OS where it's something that's useful for me. Okay, so a tag with that name already exists. Where null? Create. So it shouldn't appear if that is null. Then where not null, update or create. Okay, there might be a better way to do this. What does herd folder symbolize? Herd is Laravel herd. It is something that allows me to run PHP locally. Don't forget 8% of your yearly income to life since you're using a trademark. Yes, I guess I may do that. Okay, we've got a summary down there. Okay, so we've got to think of a better way to manage tags. Let me come over here. Let's just refresh that. Look at our tags. We've got some tags. So if we get tags that don't exist, in which case those, am I just chasing a rabbit that I'm not going to use right now? That's what I'm wondering. Retrieve a QR code for a link. And a server class. What are you on about? I don't know what you're on about. Okay, so I've got domains, meta tags, useful. Oh, you can track a lead for a short link. That's kind of useful. Maybe not right now. Tracking a customer name, email, and avatar. Okay, so there's other things that I could be doing. So for now, I'm going to leave it at that. I think that's good enough. I've got some of that working. So one other thing that I do on a day-to-day basis, other than content, is talk to people. So maybe I could say, let's make a model called contact. So this contact, when I add a contact, what I do typically is database migrations contacts. So let's say I'm doing my day-to-day job at Treble, and I have a demo of treble. We have a chat and I show you treble. I can get your email. That should be unique. Then what I want to do is, I might know your job title and where you work. That's kind of all that's important right now. And then what I could do is table. I can track leads. Can I get analytics for leads? Yes, I can. So I can get analytics for leads. I don't know what that would give me back, but I can get it. So right now I can just use analytics. Nullable. Cool. Come back to factory in a little bit. And let's just go contact and say use has ULIDs. And what I will then do is say fillable int string. So we got a name, we got an email, role and company. Usually I know all of this sort of stuff, but when we have a call, kind of standard stuff. And if we come down to casts, for now, what I'm going to do is just return analytics as an array. No, JSON. Return an array of string. All good, right? This bit all makes sense. So let's migrate that. Let's add some properties to this. String for the ID. We've got a string for the name. We've got a string for your email. String for the role. String for the company. We've got null object for the analytics. We will add that carbon interface for the created app and updated apps. However, one thing I didn't think. Ownership. Right, okay, so after that JSON column, we're going to say foreign ULID for the user ID. We're going to index constrained to the users table, and we're going to cascade. Perfect. So then we're going to add that user ID there, public function owner, which is going to be a belongs to. Return this belongs to, where the related is a user class and the foreign key is a user ID. So what we would do on this instead is say that table unique email and user ID, because different users might have the same contact. So let's remigrate that. That's all good. Then under here, we're going to have a property for that string of user ID. And then we are going to have a user available as owner. So if we come over to user, we can say that this user has many contacts. And return this has many, where the related is a contact and the foreign key is a user ID. This will return has many, and it's going to return a contact. So up here, I can say property, we're going to do an eloquent collection of contacts. like that. So that's typically how I'd go about adding a model and linking it all up, right? Relatively simple. But what I want to do is, like, I want to be able to track events, right? So I can get a list of events that's happened. Like there's a click event, lots of stuff going on. Retrieve a paginated list of events for the authenticated workspace. So if I come to Dub, for example, events, this could be like link clicks, it could be customer sign up, it could be a few different things. But if I come to here, conversions, currently in beta, I want to be able to track a lead for a short link, track a customer. So here we go, customer. Body, customer name, customer email, customer avatar. Now, currently don't have any of that. In the client's app, this is used to track a journey. Don't know how useful this is going to be, but I'm going to play with it anyway. Okay, so I'm going to make an observer, and we are going to create a customer observer for that customer. Oh, no. Contact observer for that contact. So if we open up that contact observer, what I want to do is just delete all of that so that when we create a contact, we want to basically just log the event to Dub, basically. It's going to allow me to log stuff. So we're going to make a job. We're going to put it under CRM, and contact will be contact was created. Something simple like that, right? So to send that, I could use a facade. Don't like to. So I'm going to get the constructor to do the work for me because it's already there. So in here, we can have a private read-only dispatcher. I'm just going to call it bus. It means this can be a read-only class. Pick that up, and we can say this bus dispatch. The command is new contact was created inside like my CRM side. And the contact is going to be the contact. For now, what I would do is just say that this is observed by the contact observer class. Then this will need to have access to public read-only contact. And I can just remove that and say that use serialize, no, serializes models. And when we're executing the job, what we want to do is pull in Dub. So we can say Dub track customer or lead. Let's go look at that. Track a lead. Click event name. You can give it an event name. And the customer ID, which I believe is in my client app. Click ID. I don't know what that is. From a Dub ID cookie. Okay, so I'm not going to have an ID. Tracking a customer, maybe. Customer ID, name, email, and avatar. So I'm not bothered about avatars. Track lead. So that request is a new create lead. Oh, no. This accepts a track lead request body. So, was that what I was doing? No. Track a customer. And that request is new track customer request body. Customer ID. We are going to use this contact ID. Customer name is this contact name. Customer email is this customer email. And then customer avatar is just going to be, I don't know, I'll probably just make that up. So I want to be able to track the customer. Say, you know, this person's been created, and we just want to pass that in. So all I'm doing there is tracking a customer. And this is going to return a customer ID back, which might give me the ability to do this. So we click ID. We're not going to have a click ID. I don't know if that's going to fail. That comes from the cookie. I don't know if that accepts just something random. So maybe we could try that. So let's try track lead instead. And let's see what happens. So this lead is going to need a click ID. So we are going to just say use a string helper for a UID. Event name contact.created. That makes sense. ID is this contact ID. Customer name, email, and then the customer avatar is not actually required. So I'm not going to worry about that. So let's make sure everything is migrated. Okay, perfect. So let's open up that contact factory. And what I'm going to do is say that this extends factory for the contact. Let's just clean that up, and we'll grab that and just one-line it. So what I want to quickly do is say that the name is that, the email is some random company email. The role is going to be this Faker job title. The company itself is this Faker company. I think that is all I need for that. I can't remember that. Oh, I need a user, don't I? And user ID is going to be user factory. Keep it simple. This is going to be a class string contact sorted. So analytics is always going to be null to start with. That's fine. So if I come over to my, let's go to Tinkerwell. And let's switch over to contact. What happens if I just create a new contact? I will add myself as a contact. So contact query create. Name, Steve McDougall. Email, we'll use my work email. So steve@treble.com. Role, we're going to say developer advocate. Company, Treble. User ID is going to be user equals use app models user. User query. I always do that. Query. Did it again. Damn hotkeys. Let's just get the first one. And we are going to say user ID. So what should happen is I'll get my user, which is going to be me. And I'm going to create a contact, which should trigger this observer to dispatch this to track that potential lead. Now, what I want to make sure is env, let's make sure that we are syncing. Yep, perfect. So go. Let's see if it works. Forbidden. Oh, it's not available on my plan. Okay, but that is what I would do. So I think I'm going to call it a day there because I've been streaming for almost 3 hours, damn it. Wow, I need to go get some lunch and do some work. But that's how I can use something like DuckDuckGo and local AI and other things to start working on building out this really nice and easy to use personal operating system that allows me to not only aggregate content, track analytics on content that I'm using for myself, but also I can then add things like if I pay for the next plan, I can start to track leads, track sales, track stuff, and it will just work. So that is lots of stuff to do with how I can get around it. So I'm going to call it a day there. I didn't realize I'd gone for almost 3 hours. So enjoy the rest of your day. Stay awesome. And I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.